that's going to be here, particularly for Fly, because they are obviously the heavy underdogs. We saw everyone predicting TL, not even anyone giving Fly
I want to
2
change
games.
mine just because of seeing that giant wall of Team Liquid. I want one FlyQuest to be in there.
Well, it'll be interesting, right? I want to see, do they have any sort of spice? Are they going to try to play standard here against TL and just straight up outplay them? They are on red side here for game number 1, so really interested to see who they're going to give their counter pick to. They gave it to Philip mostly during the regular season. Is that going to change at all? Or are they going to really try to go at Bwipo, who has been such a cornerstone of TL success?
Certainly has, and especially with FlyQuest being at red side, should be able to get that counter pick. To me, though, with the Poppy and the Trundle banned out, I started thinking about the priority on Wukong jungle jumping up the list. Interesting that they actually prefer the Sivir here on 12-15 over the Zeri.
Yeah, she was nerfed in the previous patch. Late game spell shield cooldown, overall damage down a little bit there. Ended up being a pretty meaningful nerf for solo queue. She has dropped priority in what limited pro play we've seen in 12-15 so far. TL, though, still the read. Now, Hansama, he's always going to be in control of this one. I like the Skarner, however, but I think it's pretty trash against Sivir. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, definitely agree there. The Azir remains the blind pick mid laner for them as well. Are we going to get the Wukong?
I feel it's going to come through. Generally, you can outrange the Sivir. Sure, a lot of his stuff you can spell shield. You know, sniper Q, pretty easy to go for at that point. But especially if you play an Enchanter, if you can get move speed advantage, you just kind of win those 2-on-2s. Your range advantage is way too big early game. Allows you to get early in control against Sivir. If that means your support can roam, if that means maybe hold on line on to go for first strike, something like that. Definitely going to give him control early game and still good scaling.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see, if they are willing to go to another Enchanter, because obviously the two kind of biggest prio ones are already taken off the table. Lulu and Yuumi are gone. Nami we only really see as a pairing with Lucian. There is Renata, as an additional option, but most people have been going with hard engaged supports. Leona obviously got some buffs on 12-15 and was already seeing some play, so that is something we could see.
Bjergsen famous Syndra, yo! Oh my goodness, this is a blast from the past.
Yeah.
Bjergsen's been in NA a while, but when he first came over, the Syndra was the champion that struck fear into the hearts of every single mid laner. Still is most played.
Yeah, most played by a mile. Second most is Azir at 45. Syndra, 77 games, a 68.8% win rate across his career. Bjergsen Syndra right up there with the Zillion is kind of one of his most famous picks.
And even more than that, it's a kill champion for mid lane, okay? We're not going to get just pure farming here. Lots of stuff they can do, especially with Wukong jungle that Team Liquid were able to secure for Santorin, which I think is super high priority because now they get to level more jungle bans at Jose here in the second round. Jarvan also off the table, one of those difficult ones for Sivir to deal with.
And it's going to be really fun. I mean, he has been one, if not the best laner this split in the LCS. toucouille, not so much, but has had great mid games. You can see Engage dropped off the table here. FlyQuest, of course, the Alistar pick, very good in a Sivir. Had that Pulverize. Works favorably into her spell shield. As now we get to see the rest of the desynced bans, right? Jungle one side, you can see Jarvan already off the table. Support on the other side, so there's the Rakan. And FlyQuest, of course, know that they have counter pick, and they will continue their trend, most likely, of the most top lane counter picking team in the LCS. We'll do that again for Philip here.
Yeah, pretty much guaranteed. There's not really any reason to go jungle on 5 unless there's something super crazy that you're trying to maybe hide.
Especially not versus Bwipo.
Yeah, exactly. So wouldn't really make a lot of sense.
Oh.
The Aatrox is a possibility, but it would be a little bit sus, I think, as a blind. Maybe he's just saying, like, this is what you want to go.
Yeah, and I think there's no good counters out there, and it's like, yeah, if this guy blinds Aatrox, I have no
Okay, he's
answers.
actually just straight up blinding it. Wow, I'm honestly really surprised because Bwipo is one of the guys who is willing to play a lot of different styles of champions, so you would expect him to be comfortable answering this.
This makes me so excited for what FlyQuest jungle pick is going to be, though, because if you're hiding jungle till last pick, it better be something
It's gotta
spicy.
be something. I mean, if you go 5th pick jungle and it's just Viego or whatever, it's like, okay.
I think good odds it's just Lee Sin no matter what. It is JoseDeodo. The champion got buffed in this patch.
But then why blind Aatrox?
I don't know.
Right? Like, I just don't think that would make any sense. So I'm going to give them the credit that there is something something a little bit spicy getting hidden. It's going to be Olaf as the answer. Bard would also be really nice to be able to get out on the map because you have two really aggressive lanes and you have a farming bot lane, right? So Sivir wave clear, Bjergsen, Syndra, the Olaf for top lane, get out there, try to get proactive. Leona, though, also receiving some buffs on this patch. Q mana down, who cares? But 0.25 seconds longer.
Give me that
all
stun. Give me the stun.
Does make it a lot easier to have those perfect CC chains.
It certainly does. It certainly does. All right, what's the spice? What's the magic?
Well, Volibear certainly has some early pressure. Oh, you called it Azael?
I'm not happy to
The
have called
world
it.
is shocked.
Hey, it's just a hover, bruh.
Hey, listen. All right, Vi coming through, that's always fun.
Okay.
I mean, there's an argument where if you're going to go like deep cut Morgana support, Morgana can really block a lot of what Vi does. So if that's like really the call, like there's certain things that you're afraid of answering. Like this could have been a scrim strat where Morgana was a counterpick to Vi going up Prio. Like there's always a
Well, yeah, I mean, they could have theoretically shifted the Wukong up the top lane and then, yeah, got Morgana jungle as well.
Also a possibility, yeah.
Because Morgana jungle is where it's been getting played the most in Champions Queue, at least.
Yep. And even it can be conditional upon the top laner, right? If you want to play, you know, like against an aggressive top laner here that Vi can maybe pick on early, allowing Bwipo to pick before you actually lock in the Vi makes some sense. So we'll have to see if Jose can get much done here. It's a lot of scaling on the bot side, but early power for sure is there on that top side of the map for FlyQuest. The Aatrox and the Vi very strong, but it's going to be scary going up against Olaf and Wukong, who can definitely scrap with you.
It certainly is a very good pick versus the Syndra. Vi ganking towards mid lane should be very effective there. Just need to get into range of the ultimate, hold him down, try and take down that famous Bjergsen.
We are on to Syndra's Rift for the opening day of the postseason. And as Bjergsen pushed them away, they actually sneak into the brush. I don't think, oh wait, Axton land, he's gonna be slowed. He may have to flash the wall.
Axe number 2.
That's gonna be slow. He will always get caught, burns the flash, and they decide no more than that. And this is Hex Flash disabled for the patch, so that is a long missing summoner for Aphromoo.
Yeah, that's actually a big deal there, getting that early on and just not really paying enough respect to the Olaf invade. Pretty much any time you have Olaf with this semi-okay level 1, you just walk in there, you try to tag someone with the axes. If you hit one, they basically have to flash every time.
Well, as we are getting the best of 5, we have gotten a word from JoseDeodo.
Well, for playoff, I feel confident. I think we come from a downhill, and now we are like catching up to every team. From scrims as well, we've been like struggling a bit, but now we are like going to wins against, feeling the wins. So I think for us, it was important that we are winning now again, and we want to catch up and still make it far. And we really will try our best to make it to Worlds.
With the leash and a blue buff. And with Gromp already alive, you gotta smite that. It is actually faster to smite your camp than start Gromp with 2 spells, but Jose now on his way to his second camp now with the summoner up. If you're going for an invade, then you can save your smite, and that way you can like poach the third camp. For example, Wukong starting top side. Nice little engage by Leona, but Glacial does not lower damage against you, so a nice pulverize after she's done animating, and decent damage out of Johnsun.
Yeah, I mean, the glacial damage is the glacial slow is more for setting up the Sivir. You know, it's really nice for that because it pretty much guarantees that you're going to be able to land that boomerang blade. You know, Johnson's just not really able to sidestep that.
I love it. There we go. There's the FlyQuest believers. I don't care what the casters analysts say. Get in there. Meanwhile, top side here, Philip really has impressed. You know, especially because even the FlyQuest organization said they promoted him extra early. Just because they believed in his potential, but what he's delivered over this split has definitely been incredibly impressive. And I specifically remember, especially Fudge, when he was on the analyst desk, ranking him up, you know, number 5, right below all of the top, you know, best top lane competition already as such a young rookie.
Philip pushed back under his tower, gets the stab though. Actually, a pretty good chunk of health going back into him. He's going to auto these things down and try to keep the wave off his tower.
Yeah, he's just going to pull the wave. And Bwipo's right? So it's more about that. Bwipo can't actually stay around. And this is something you always want to try to do when you're playing Resourceless Champions top lane, is really tax the mana bar here. And now Bwipo has to stay around to try to reset that, but toucouille in trouble mid lane.
Oh, almost blocked the jump backwards there. The WE could have been blocked by Wukong, just barely. Santorin not quite in front of him, but still, that is Bjergsen and the jungler forcing the flash.
And this is something Santorin really prides himself on, is mixing up his jungle clears to come at you at a time that is not expected for pro play. He leaves up Raptors and Krugs, ganks early here on toucouille to get both summoner spells down, and then we'll see about the return after he finishes up his clear. Meanwhile, Jose went with just leaving up the Raptors here, wants to get the early top Scuttle Crab.
I kind of like the pathing, Jose. I mean, because Vi is so good at killing Raptors, Q groups him up, E burns him as well. But he was able to do red into covering top lane right as that sort of freeze happening. Like, Philip's like, I'm tanking a minion wave at level 2. If you fight me, by the way, Vi's nearby. And Bwipo, like, you know, let him do it because Vi was nearby. But, like, they're actually That was very nearly first blood, right?
Yeah, and something we haven't really gotten to talk about yet is the fact that Philip's actually playing Ignite, right? Like, this is very much so playing to be a kill lane. It's against TP Olaf. So Bwipo really just has to farm even, and he's winning because you're going to have a lot more value from the TP later on. With this Aatrox playing Ignite, you've got to cover him because he's got to be winning lane. He's got to be able to play aggressive, try to look for these kills. And we'll see if Philip can pull it off because a lot of pressure on him to really be able to get something done, I think, in the early game with the draft and with the summoner choice.
Well, he has the level lead and the pushing lane right now. So see if he can get this one in with the wraparound gank from Santorin, who slipped into that brush on the Wukong.
Yep.
They're looking to get him before he gets to his level 6. Oh.
And they decide not to go for him, looks like. They had a ward on the river anyway, despite anything going on, but decides, nope. You're not going to freeze it. I need to get back to my stuff. Out he goes.
Yeah, it is interesting because they even have a lane ward, right? Like, they even have that ward, you know, a little bit further back up, you know, the pink ward in that back rush. So TL knew that Jose wasn't actually there, but, you know, they decide to pull it off, you know, not going to be going for that gank. Philip's playing it pretty safe. But with that stacked wave, likely will be able to get it to crash. Has to be somewhat safe, of course, because Bwipo does have the refillable and the extra longsword. He had already gone back to base.
I really thought they were going to go for that lane gank with him in the brush because Bwipo also has the ghost, which is so great when you're pushed up like that, chasing down the Aatrox, even with flash and the little dash away, but isn't going to be the case here. Santorin looking to repeat on the flashless mid laner.
Jose has sweeper up and isn't, like... Is there a reason to not
covering?
Yeah, I guess, but like, why not check for wards?
Yeah.
I feel like it's literally the thing you want to sweep when you're up there. But either way, CoreJJ, sweeper up himself is like, I'm getting behind mid lane. Guess what, buddy? Flashless Azir, 3v1. Here we go. Flash, scoop back. Stun's gonna land and flash follow. First blood for Santorin.
That Bjergsen Syndra play around it. Santorin ganks it twice before 6 minutes. CoreJJ comes for the repeat gank. They kill him under tower, even without Hex Flash here. Very willing to burn the real one.
Yeah, that's just really well done by TL, getting that kill. toucouille responded about as well as he could have. He was actually really fast, you know, with the ulti there, you know, getting the double sweep back, but they double flash on him. Bjergsen doesn't even have to blow his summoners. And this is getting really awkward now for FlyQuest. We can see this one more time. toucouille obviously just sees CoreJJ now. Great buffer on the ulti, but with the Zenith Blade and Sun landing, it's an easy setup for Scatter of the Week. Everything comes through from Bjergsen. They get that kill. And of course, dying with no TP with the wave at your tower is always going to hurt. And finally now, Philip will be able to get this wave in here and get to reset. But Bwipo has really done a good job extending this laning phase with Philip on no items because Philip's playing for kill pressure. You know, Bwipo hasn't even TP'd back yet, so he's really not in any danger. Like, you can actually just reset on this wave, walk back, still hold your TP, so if Philip all-ins, you just TP back and you start freezing on him.
It's interesting because he doesn't know if Philip was trying to, you know, wait in the brush and go for a surprise play, so he blast cones around, make sure there's no jungler from the bottom side or something. And because he had the control ward up behind the middle brush, knew that he didn't flip around.
Yep, waits out the stun, cleanses it, gets the root, because Aphro's on the way over. Keep in mind, CoreJJ burned his flash in the previous fight, but they don't think they have the damage to kill him. Leona W, though it was down, I guess there's not enough damage in the pickaxe, and they let him walk away.
Yeah, and I mean, Hans is 6 already, so it's very unlikely, I think, that you'd be able to lock him down long enough. Already having used that Gravitum Q, you know, Sivir just pops ult, and you can kind of back right out of there. It is going to be Bwipo now, having reset the wave. He TP's back. He's got the early executioners here, so really prioritizing that heal cut. It was kind of... TL got a lot of criticism, I think it was against 100 Thieves, for actually just ignoring heal cut in that game, and now seeing the kind of pivot towards a really early buy on it here against the Aatrox.
And both top laners equipped with Grievous, both top laners self-healing, so they're going to be equipped for that fight specifically. Then we have a solid 700 gold lead for Team Liquid as Santorin. And now that the recalls have gone through, you mentioned the items coming in. Looks like they got control of the top side. It's pretty good for Olaf. Obviously, Bjergsen has a lot of control, and so that's going to be a solo Herald.
Yeah, exactly. This is one of my favorite things right now, too, with the extra 200 gold on Rift Herald. He has pushing mid and top, like you just said, so it's very easy to slip in there and kill the Herald quite quickly. Bwipo even going down to that Rift Herald to accelerate that process.
And Hound Salmon misses like a couple CS on his recall. He's got Noon Quiver, Zerker Greaves. Attack speed now actually a great stat onto Sivir. Nice headbutt Pulverize, and does not go for any more. The Aftershock was on, didn't want to take the return blow.
Yeah, so far so good for the bottom lane. I mean, Han's able to get that recall off here pretty early. He is playing Ghost, so is going to have a lot of prio on that move speed. And I think it's going to be very difficult for FlyQuest to actually close on him. Of course, it's going to be mostly up to Aphro, who does have that kind of headbutt pulverize interaction with Spell Shield. But Vi can't really be the one to start it off unless the Spell Shield's already down. It's so easy to actually answer the Vi ult.
Well, one of the things, that's why Jose went with the blue smite here.
Yeah, try to smite it off.
Super easy. Smite that sucker off. It's also really nice to be able to go blue smite just to walk at people and then start charging your Q, and makes it a lot more difficult for them to dodge, so they have to end up burning summoner spells. Is going to finish up on this dragon, though. Another positive of Vi, the denting blows percentage HP damage. Helps him take down these dragons.
Woo! There we go. Infernal Drake scales incredibly well, and they've got 4 good users. Not every comp gets to get 4 champions who really love Infernal Drake stacks, but you love the AED. It's functionally better than the AP, since it scales your base stats, and no one has base AP. So FlyQuest actually comp well suited for the Infernal Drake. If it goes late, it's gonna add a 1,000 gold to their coffers and stats. See if it matters. Top lane fighting yet again as they trade blows. Gonna land Q3. Just Bwipo gets pulled right in. Could have ulted to break that. Decides now I'll take the damage. He'll sustain back up.
Yeah, and I think he was hoping that Philip would overcommit, but Philip is playing this smart, right? Because if you hit your 3 Qs and then try to all in after that without your spells on cooldown, Bwipo was going to take that no problem, going to be able to sustain through it. So he's just going to go back to the Gromp, heal up off of this. It's a smart play by him, 224 heal there, plus the sustain he actually got on it while killing it off. So, Philip really kind of has to whittle him down before he can look for any sort of actual kill here.
Oh, wow, he's going now. Puts the ignite on!
Straight out of Academy, baby! The rookie's getting it done in the top lane!
Man, what a calculation there by Philip. That was so close to him actually dying and the face plant coming through, especially if Bwipo was playing Triumph. Like, if he actually dies to the tower and Triumph comes across, that would be devastating, but he does get the solo kill under the tower with the ignite here. Bjergsen TP's top to actually answer, so Bwipo will likely head out towards mid, but instead TL is actually moving their bot lane mid, sending Bwipo down towards bot to catch that wave. But really nicely done from Philip. He had to get something done with that early ignite, and now he's got it. He's got the Gore Drinker complete as well, so he's way ahead in this 1v1.
Yeah, I love the calculation here. He just ignites him and leaves him for the rest of the little bit of damage. Here's Q1 into chain, into Q2, into Q3. Every single one hits, leaves him with the ignite, flashes out of the tower. Beautiful.
I mean, that was perfect. All 3 sweet spots land. The chain lands. He gets the passive auto. Uses every little bit of damage he had there to actually knock him down. Philip going big, man. His first LCS playoffs appearance here. He's 19, playing against one of the most veteran top laners in the world. Solo kills Bwipo straight up.
Flash comes in. Oh, they don't hedge him though. Oh. Wow, just walks away. Presses E. Nice try, Team Liquid, but that's not gonna work. Here's the sweepers. Everyone's known. Yeah, you can't get rid of I at that point. True. Q was already charged. And now we got Hansam on the top side, though. Plates are still up for 2 minutes.
Yeah, I guess the big question is how hard did they want to push? Do they actually want to use the Rift Trail mid? Now they're rotating everybody towards that mid lane. They can get a pretty hard push on it here with toucouille even being shoved out. 4 members rotating basically halfway down the river. Looks like they'll send Hansama back up to collect the top wave and get some pretty nice value out of that Rift Trail. Mid lane tower being so low.
The play. Vial comes in, Bjergsen over the wall, and a flash to the scoop, but again out of range. Aatrox is here. They've got to have the follow through, right? But toucouille may have sealed his own fate. Health bar's low. He's ignited and he's down.
Here's Johnsun.
2 for 1, though. Vi still hitting. CoreJJ doesn't have an escape. CoreJJ's got no way out. Easy. Okay, you missed the vault breaker. No. He's red buff slowed. You still got this one.
Why? That's a wasted stopwatch.
Why? Just watch on the ground and stepped on it for no reason. That's very good stuff for FlyQuest, though. Team Liquid, they move down with 4 people, but then since they call off Sivir to send back to top lane and Bwipo stays in the bottom lane, FlyQuest bring more forces to back up toucouille. They get the perfect Jose flash ult, point and click. Even though Bjergsen gets over the wall, the follow-up there from the Azir sweep, and it's a huge, huge win for FlyQuest.
And I read on Aphromoo this morning, waiting for our testing results. I'm like, hey man, do you feel snubbed by the All Pro voting? Like, you think you should have made? He's like, I would have shown we're better in game. Bam! 0-0-3 in the Alistar. Shows him who's better in that play. That is exciting.
Yeah, Jose, Q, flash ult from so far away. toucouille just follows up immediately, sweeps him right into Philip, who's able to knock him down. On the other side, toucouille does get taken out, but with Johnsun arriving, it's the extra members there at the play that are making the difference. Of course, it's not as positive of a play gold-wise as you would think, because they're losing plates top and bot. They are losing gold to the minions dying as well. So TL getting a lot back.
Jose actually 5-headed, backing up, and oh, I missed my Q. I didn't kill you, Core. Maybe you can get out of this. They end up getting the stopwatch as well out of it. Nice stuff there.
Well, next breaks up in a second. CoreJJ sees a Vi. JoseDeodo can pop the ulti. Again, no flash, but a lot of safety tools. You've got a Wukong around, though. A lot of damage coming across, and that's going to be Jose falling. Payback. Found himself in a 2 versus 4. And Bwipo missed the first slow. He'll look for the second. Johnsun wants to run away. Will they lock him down? They need to put some damage now onto the Olaf. Flashes the wall, stays alive. 400 HP, gets the heal back. And Bwipo in the wings is of Azir, but coming in again for more. He's not going to land for much. CoreJJ still here. toucouille going to be attacked. toucouille's going to fall. Will not get a single one back. A 3-0 for Team Liquid, taking the lead.
DL set up the bait so well there. Santorin waiting behind CoreJJ, daring them to engage on him. And Jose takes the bait, hook, line, and sinker right in onto the Leona.
It's just the next page in our 5-head action sequence here. CoreJJ's like, guess what? I don't have a stopwatch now. I'm an easy kill. And he baits in Jose. Oh my goodness. The counterplay here from Team Liquid. They're going to end up with the Rift Trail again as well. Another one. And these things are worth so much gold. 1.2K ahead already. Nice stuff here from Team Liquid. You can definitely snowball with that.
Looking really good. Well, FlyQuest hoping they can showcase greatness again, as they had a nice 5v3 in the mid lane, but now trailing pretty heavily.
And Santorin is the one getting the majority of these actual kills. So very fed Wukong here. Early Divine Sunder. Meanwhile, it is going to be Dragon, as you're talking about, picked up as consolation prize. No smite still around. CoreJJ would have to pull out some crazy support miracles.
Solar Flare stun! Boom! Woo! Thank you, whoever's shouting out dragons. I appreciate that. I like that the audience every week just like picks an objective to care about a lot. Before it was Ornn, we had some Teemo, now we're on Drakes. I love it.
Ornn is the objective.
Yes!
The demigod.
toucouille's Yumi 1 week as well. toucouille now in trouble.
Uh-oh. toucouille knocked up into the air, gonna scoot back. It's a lot of space. Will he get out from the rest of it? Maybe so. Bwipo needs an execute to land. Is it gonna happen?
He's got teammates coming.
Waiting against the wall, does not find that slow. Here comes reinforcements though. Onto a TP, this could be good. Snipe gonna land.
Bjergsen
and they're gonna catch Bjergsen. That TP into 4 of FlyQuest, and they're gonna get the double kill.
Oh, that TP sucked! Bjergsen arrives and immediately gets headshot by the sniper from Johnsun. Perfect timing on that arrival. And it's a slugfest, fellas.
Yeah, everyone from FlyQuest showing up, and Bjergsen thinking he has the flanking TP on just toucouille, but the whole squad is there. They're looking for the initial setup here, but toucouille does a good job on the disengage, able to sweep away Santorin, creating a lot of space from him, and then just running down towards the team. But back in live, it's another fight.
And there's going to be a whole bunch of damage. Goodbye to Santorin. Gonna try to jump away. Does still have the flash if he needs it. Stays alive for now. Blast blend away because rest of TL has shown up. CoreJJ's there for safety. Will he try again? He's looking. Decides, I don't really have teammates around. Wow, fights for reward in the face of 3 people. toucouille knocking down top lane out of turret. 2-2 in turrets. 2-0 in Drakes.
The gold is just back to it even. TL was actually quite a bit ahead, but FlyQuest now, having taken both of those early dragons, those are worth a lot of stats now, ever since those buffs a couple patches ago. So FlyQuest out to the lead, I'd say.
This game is way closer than the analyst predictions. The full block, all Team Liquid, 3-0s or 3-1s, but FlyQuest came to play today. Especially, guys, shout out again, Philip there, the young guy in the top lane for them, the rookie here on the 2-0 Aatrox. See if you can get back out to the side lane, start split pushing.
And looking like he may be going towards Death Dance, trying to continue building for that 1v1, trying to build aggressive here, see what he can get done. Aatrox from ahead can be terrifying. If you do not have the damage to burst this guy down, if he starts getting resets in those team fights, it can be really, really problematic. The axe just a split second too late there.
Ice in his blood. He's not gonna flinch.
I like the build though, yeah. Armor against triple AD, Merc Tread sits really well against what Syndra and Leona can do. This bot lane tower will die to just about the charge. Bwipo will be in local gold range, plus 300 to him. Thank you very much. Accelerator the Olaf, as he is on Triforce, and that is gonna be a lot of damage at the very least. All right, now gonna push in for the next turret. Of course, this is a tankier second Herald, and that means, yes, Tia will spend the resources to shepherd it in. Will be hard to pop the eyes. Gonna try and not get much of it there. And that will be a crash in. Bot lane tier 2, 800 gold value, down to 1/3.
I think it was correct, though, from FlyQuest to not actually overextend and try to kill that off. You know, they knew they had no vision in this area. You look at this whole quadrant of the map. There's no wards in that side. They knew TL could be around. If you overextend and actually try to burst that down and die for it, it is absolutely not worth it. So they're just going to take what they can get. toucouille on the top side, stealing away a few enemy jungle camps, and just trying to reclaim vision on that top side.
I'm already getting excited for the next dragon. Minute and a half away. FlyQuest's been stacking. Audience has been all over it. Dragon number 3, Cloud Dragon
They've
coming
been
up.
stacking.
They've been stacking. They're building up. You thought the first 2 shoutouts were big, Phreak. Wait until
get ready.
Hear the third
Oh,
one.
now you put the pressure on.
Uh-oh. Counting on you. All right, I'm looking out at all of you. This better be good. 70 seconds to go until the Drake spawns. A couple of wards are down. Bwipo spotted taking Krugs. He is counter jungling more than JoseDeodo does, I feel like.
Oh, he
32
even gets
gold.
the big one.
To be fair, the small ones have all the gold, so like that's 4 small Krugs
But he
on
got
the big
the
one.
ward.
They don't have 32 of the gold, Phreak. They don't have all of it.
Yeah, I said most. I think.
You said all.
Oh, okay. That was called hyperbole. It is a rhetorical device to explain the value of something. Hansama. Wow. Millions of gold from that ward kill. And they're ready to go for this Drake. All important 3rd Drake of the game.
It looks like FlyQuest isn't even going to fight for it, though, to be honest. I think that they're looking like they maybe want to just play topside. Unless toucouille is just finishing something, they're now moving down, but they have no vision in the area. I do think it's pretty difficult to actually reclaim vision against this Syndra. So they're going to try to play through mid, get the push there, and then walk in afterwards. Bwipo did show on that bottom wave, but that is also pushing for TL. So it's going to be a difficult one, I think, for FlyQuest. And yeah, I'm not certain if they're going to fully commit to it.
I mean, he might, yeah, he's TPing in. They are going to try. You don't burn the TP unless you're willing to play for this fight right now, but it has spawned and Santorin's in fog, which means Santorin could be soloing. CoreJJ tries the verse engage, doesn't get any cooldowns out. Thought maybe I can get after ult, I can get someone to flash.
And Banshees is done now for toucouille, so that's why they actually were waiting for that, giving him extra camps on the top side to get his 2-item spike, and they're going to look for this.
Afro, headbutt, pull, but no one's in range for anymore, so ult walks away, but gets really low in health. They're going to burn him down. Olaf practically solo kills the man, but he loses his own life. He couldn't get back out. FlyQuest forced down the top laner, and in a 4v4, this could be the team fight.
It's an item diff really here for FlyQuest. Both their solo laners are on 2 items and neither one on TL.
Santorin in the pit, jumps in, looks for the knockup. Will they delete him in time? The back line. It's a 1-0. The scoop gets nothing, but it forces the disengage. Drake claim for number 3. 3 kills as well. FlyQuest are just routing Team Liquid. Bjergsen running for his life, but he got pulled. The chain comes in, the flash.
They go Baron.
That's not just Dragon. They can move over the rest of the map. I honestly thought they were going to go
Yeah, I
Baron
thought they were too.
Whoa.
Man, they started walking up towards it. You know, the Aphelios with the white gun plus the Azir might have been worth the risk, but they decide, no, the game is going well. We can play for soul point. I think that's the call. Let's play calm, cool, collected here. They're on 3 dragons, but they win another fight here. Aphro going very hard early on, but again, they have the item advantage on both of the solo laners. And Bwipo is just getting pounded as he flies in here to try to take down the support as he's on the exit. Look at them all hitting him.
You could see the break in comms because Bwipo moves up to go further auto after he already takes down the Alistar, trying to get into melee range, and the rest of Team Liquid were pulling out. The rest of the team was backing up. So FlyQuest got to have 4 people focus firing this Olaf as he's trying to run away. Basically isolated from the rest of the team, and that was the moment that broke.
3,500 damage out of Philip. And those are mostly skill shots.
He's going off. This is an incredible game. His first ever LCS playoff game. 19-year-old Canadian top laner for FlyQuest. 4-0-1. Solo kills Bwipo. Popping off with the roams. Popping off in the team fights. He's on 2.5 items here. He's looking for 3. And
It's actually so funny. Philip with the rent-a-girlfriend choice got a lot of criticism online.
And he got counterpicked.
People are going to see, you know, Philip's such a good top laner. Maybe they need to reconsider. They're going to be checking out the show.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's gonna be an exciting one now, man. A lot of pressure on TL to be able to actually stop this next dragon here. Don't want that dragon soul to be going over. Cloud Soul is insanely good for Aatrox, by the way. You know, one of the absolute best. The flat move speed, incredible. The move speed burst with the World Ender move speed burst is just like, you are not kiting this guy. So it is definitely one that would be really big for their most fed member.
I like when your ult is become Rammus. Definitely feels good. We've got a chem tank done here for Aphromoo as well. I saw his Bombi Syndra earlier on, so not the sort of more common, cheaper Locket or Shurelya's kind of version. He's going to be tankier, and it's going to get him more damage as well.
It is interesting, right? You see Even Shroud sometimes too, so not one of the more common mythic options, but really prioritizing that little bit of more tankiness here, because he is really the only true frontliner. No one else is building tank items. Of course, Philip's going to be drain tanking, so it will give him a little bit more durability outside of the ultimate. Still gets that move speed to help engage. And the slowdown as well, so we'll see how it works out for him.
1,400 gold lead. And on Soul Point, is JoseDeodo waiting in the wings. Will there be big pressure towards the mid side? Pull back on a CoreJJ, but still, tanky champion. Santorin forced to claim his own blue buff.
Look at this split push over on the bottom side as Bwipo's gotten up to the low health turret on the bottom, answered by toucouille, and it looks like they are going to pull off, but several members of FlyQuest are kind of hovering around that bottom side, see if they want to do, try and pick him off or something.
It's low health turret right there, so it is a possibility. The TP, of course, is up for Bwipo, and because toucouille...
They're pinging on him. Look at that Vi heading down.
All right, look for the 2v1. Of course, you can
way
always...
far out.
You can ult the ult, and you can ult while CC'd, so you should be immune to most of this.
It's also got Ghost. If you just ult and Ghost away.
Okay, gets the first punch coming in right now. Blue Smite for a bit of a slow. He wants to save the ult to immune the other one. There's the Q coming in as well, just trying to burn him down. He's got ult, and it forces the flash to JoseDeodo.
Yeah, his idea there, try and trade 1-for-1 with the jungle, not give up anything else on the map, see if they can actually retake control of Baron Vision while that is going on. Doesn't get the extra kill, but it's just going to be a little bit of gold there for FlyQuest in the end.
Yep, still nicely done. They get the pick off on the side lane. No ult, no ghost. Of course, there's our shorter cooldowns than the flash on that other side, but Bwipo very nearly able to turn this around.
And what I'm actually thinking about in this scenario, though, is using the flash here when the Dragon Soul fight is coming up in 50 seconds. So you do live as Jose there, but you're not going to have your flash for the quite possibly game-breaking, most important fight of the game now. And like I said, all you actually got out of that was the money for killing Bwipo.
Yeah, it's definitely a trade-off, but at the same time, now the enemy top laner has no ghost. Can he actually get onto the back line without that additional move speed? That's going to be a big question. So we'll see, which ends up being more impactful here. As FlyQuest have the earlier setup, they took the scuttle that is about to expire, but they're pushing out mid lane here. Bot is already pushed up for them. And look where Santorin is. It looks like he's trying to set up some kind of a flank here coming from that bottom side.
I mean, Afro got chunked out so hard. He's got to have to go get some more health, go back to base. He's going for the recall right now. As you mentioned, he does have the turbo chem tank, so he can stampede straight back into the fight, and he was not seen recalling, so Team Liquid don't know for sure that they've got the numbers.
A lot of stopwatches on both sides as well. 3 stopwatches for FlyQuest, 2 for TL on the top side, and now Core is the one poked out. And if he bases here, they're going to have vision on it with those deep wards.
Poke on supports is so effective. That's 50% HP off of a frontline member.
They want to force him over the wall. They want to make him burn W to safety, and it's going to get him out.
Actually, burn
flash. Yeah, I think his W may have been down right now, so that's a lot of room. And look, they're just giving it. Everyone's running away. I think they know this is just a guaranteed Cloud Soul.
Cloud Soul, one of the souls that is given over the most if you're not willing to take the fight. They had a disadvantage set up to the fight with the big jump.
Oh, good flash from Hansama, gets away from that one. Santorin, yeah, he's gonna be fine. It's the clone.
But I think in this particular case, I talked about the most fed member on the team. This is one of the best souls in the game for Aatrox. It's gonna be so hard to actually deal with this guy. They have an incredible Baron take, and now their turn is that much more powerful with the Cloud Soul here. So I think that they're going to be playing heavily for this, but Afro will be able to walk it out, has the Swifties. He's chilling, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he only had Jose around him, and they didn't know for sure if there's more coming up than just Santorin. So overall, not going to be too bad. Theoretically, I think Leona's a shorter cooldown, so that, I mean, it's a positive trade for CoreJJ outright, and there is a chance you get that little window if there's a Baron setup.
Yeah, they're 5 seconds different, so basically the same. So it shouldn't be too much of a big
there's
deal.
A chance.
There's a chance.
I like it, Phreak. Lawyered.
You are right. To be clear, you're totally right. But there's a chance.
Yep.
I mean, it's also kind of just an interesting trade-off because Alistar with that ultimate means you go into a team fight, you for sure do die in there.
Speaking of for sure dying, Bjergsen going to be attacked. He's got a flash. Gets away for now. Gets a stun coming across. And his flash for sure died for that.
His flash is for sure on cooldown now. Meanwhile, toucouille is going to answer the split push again. He does have his unleashed teleport, so Azir is fine, especially with Banshees. Just keep these soldiers at the turret, keep the Olaf at bay.
And very close to having death cap. He's 200 gold off death cap now. So when toucouille does hit that, oh no! Oh, the observers did him dirty.
Oh.
He's been exposed. Exposed.
I mean, it's the new thing, okay? They got tired of the mustaches, so the new TL thing
Wasting
is to burn stopwatches for nothing.
Oh man, at least they got the synergy on that one.
Yeah.
But Hans, bright spot for TL. You know, he has been farming up a storm here. He's already on his 3 items and his tier 2 boots, so gonna be having to do a lot of the heavy lifting here.
Guys, I see another stopwatch ready to be broken.
Santorin.
You think we're gonna get 3 for 3? Are we gonna remix broken stopwatches?
No, he's not gonna do it.
There's no way.
Not
Saying
Santorin.
There's 0 chance.
saying there's
He
a
wouldn't do that
chance.
to you.
He wouldn't. He couldn't.
CoreJJ did it. Bwipo did it. Let's see.
Just need Hans. Bjergsen, unironically, actually could really use it, considering he doesn't have defensive tools
Yeah,
against
I
Vi
mean,
here.
they're actually very useful against
Yeah.
Vi.
He's gonna go Zonia's next, I think, right? I think that's probably the answer.
He's on the build path for it.
Yeah, but you know, it's possible he goes Banshees, but I would definitely not go Banshees in this game. I think Zonia's so much more effective, but looking for a little
bit of
engage
damage.
here.
There's a stopwatch where CoreJJ gets away from the stun out of Syndra. They cannot find the rest.
Here comes
CoreJJ
Aphro.
still chunked low. They're going to find it. Chem tank, headbutt, pulverize, ulti, goodbye. Johnsun gets the kill into CoreJJ, 11-6. Santorin running for the hill. Still a minute left on his flash cooldown.
The Grom!
Right, and Philip gets the Grom. You'll have to see it.
They're gonna get the big purple
gonna give this up
worm as
too.
well.
Not even gonna contest TL. Doesn't feel like they have a way in to fight these. They went for much more of an early mid-game style comp, I feel like, with the Syndra and the Olaf. They've gotten behind and not really feel like they have a way in these team fights now. Down 4K, down Soul, down Baron buff. It is FlyQuest really surprising us here in game number 1 and coming out playing like the favorites.
We're gonna have to get a review of the prediction graphic on the analyst desk after this one.
Oh, he's on a ward. He's on a ward. He's on a ward. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
All the 3-0
He's got a
predictors
jungler,
sweating.
but how can they act it correctly? Can they act it correctly? They don't want to know. Here's the headbutt puller. It's really good stun.
But Philip's coming behind them. He could go for the long chase here. They do have the Cloud Soul.
Afro, no flash, can't get over. JoseDeodo can't really target Hansama with the ulti. Actually, I guess you can. Theoretically, it's about a spell shield, but the timing gets really tight.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
He's gonna find Santorin. Stays safe. Another spell to Afro. He's very low. Over the wall, maybe going for the bit of a chase.
Clean hit.
Philip wants one to pull back. Ulti's gonna land. Stopwatch for Aphromoo. Is it for the kill? Back out goes the top laner. Philip gonna be pretty tanky for a while, but will he live long enough? Gore Drinker, Q3, gets a big heal. He's gonna run low on health, burns his own stopwatch. He's gotta get back out though. He could die rapidly. Damage back on Bwipo. He's gonna stay alive as well. Nothing in TL's favor. They got rid of Aphromoo. Still running away for now. The kiting works. Here's the flash. Get the pick. Sivir spell shields late. The rare mistake from Hansama, and he will live.
Team Liquid, every member lives. These AoE stuns from Bjergsen, the scatter the weak, picking off the kill. They defend against FlyQuest. They
Man.
lose one tower, but my goodness, that was huge.
Look at all the broken stopwatches. The Johnsun just sold his, but there was 4 broken stopwatches for FlyQuest after that fight. They got big value there. So many close calls in this one.
Yeah, they were definitely needed this time around. It starts out with a great chain on the Santorin pulling him back in, so they go for the engage. Then you see Aphromoo have to use his. Johnsun, look at Johnsun though. He's going to use his to immune this ultimate from Syndra, so he doesn't die. These are all so
Then
necessary.
Philip as well would have gone down for sure, and he's just able to flash dash out.
Exactly, the FlyQuest one's saving lives, and still, Team Liquid with these guy of the week, they pick off the extra one.
More early ult. If he gets the autos, he can keep the duration on. He has to fight, or he'll get CC'd and killed. They're just gonna find Q3, and they're gonna get the kill all the same. Afro's
flanking.
Get ready for the re-engage. CoreJJ should be a freebie. Ult is gonna land. They'll lose their jungler, but they've got Alistar in the way, and they're gonna try to find the next stun. Vi is down though, 2 for 1 so far. Still a positive FlyQuest. Maybe not quite as many as they wanted.
I mean, it's an Elder Dragon though. It's only 13 seconds
No jungle.
on Elder Dragon.
You can 4v3, but you can't smite.
Yeah, this would be really risky. They have to keep vision on Santorin and look for the turn here.
You just try and bait.
That's the brush. Santorin knows he can W to safety.
They're on it.
Probably. They're hitting. Blue Trigger spots the brush trap. I like the placement of that one. Pretty smart by, I think, Hans. Philip can always jump the wall, doing what he can. He's going to see Santorin, knows that was the clone. 4K health, they're gonna zone him out.
Finishing.
They got soldiers as well. Can they get in at all? Elder Dragon gonna be claimed! And FlyQuest have gotten every objective this game.
Perfectly played by FlyQuest. No jungler, no problem. Philip and Aphromoo play bodyguard there, giving Santorin no shot to get into the pit without his flash. He would have had to walk up to the wall without using his W, then get in, and there was just no way he was going to be able to do it. Now FlyQuest have everything they need to try to close out this first game.
They're playing so controlled here. Aphromoo and FlyQuest on the big stage again. Aphromoo very deserving, I think, of a high ranking from the LCS all-time 10-year award. Hoping he can get even higher. This man always such a good in-game leader for every team that he is on. And the combination here with the young talent from Philip really proving successful for FlyQuest. Now, with Elder Dragon, they come to finish the first game versus Team Liquid.
He just done it to Syndra, but it doesn't matter. Mid lane gonna drop now. No Baron buff. Good. Really well-timed spell shield by Hansama. Gets the shutdown. Goodbye to the Vine. And that means there's no fight to be had. Turret, I mean, maybe you try 5v4.
That was a big mistake because you're the ones with Elder Dragon. You don't need to force way past towers at that time. It's on Team Liquid to have the pressure there. So that was a very, very, very beneficial play for Team Liquid. Over-eager Jose trying to force too far away from the rest of the team while they have this mega buff, the execution.
That's one of those where it just feels like you got blood in your eyes, right? You thinking, we can end the game, we got Elder, like, let's force. But Hans timed his spell shield so well.
Yeah.
He waited till the last second there so that the blue smite was used, I think, before, then he spell shielded, then the ult hit him. So able to win that little mini game.
Yeah. I understand the thought, right? Flashless Saver, you can try to smite spell shield, but again, Hans played it better. Nothing but credit for how well he did this one. Quick block comes out of core to make sure they can block the ulti out of Aphelios. That plus the Elder.
That's it for Elder. And they don't really get much damage done, right? You know, they've had their first crack with Elder, with Baron, with Soul. They are extending the gold advantage, but one inhib down and only being mid lane, it's just going to mean more gold here for TL, and Hans is nearing full build.
Yeah, I think FlyQuest are very comfortable, though. Yes, they could have played it better. They could have gotten more out of this Elder, but they are in such a dominating position here still in this game, coming back with that Cloud Soul. Now they just have to split push, get their 4-1 going. They're actually even sending toucouille out to the top side. Again, he's the only member with the teleport he has had to answer all the Bwipo split pushing.
Yeah, both teams going to be pretty well set up for this fight, though. You know, the GA is coming off cooldown for Bwipo, so it should be 2 GAs on both sides. Hans is 5 items plus a stopwatch, 5 items on Johnsun. You know, everything really coming through here. You know, on both sides. toucouille does have a massive gold advantage, though, over Bjergsen. Nearly 4,000 gold ahead individually in the mid lane there. You know, that's like the full death cap, basically, on top of what Bjergsen's build is.
Aphromoo is going to need some honey fruit or something to heal back up. Another big chunk onto the support front line.
Good ward. They see that Baron has not been hit just yet, but they still know where Aphromoo is. Know he's guarding around it. Santorin's looking for maybe some poke on a Philip. His mid lane will be under control as Johnsun shoves it down. Hansama gets rid of a ward. Have a look at the next little piece, because we know the Baron setup can be there, and every single team fight for a while has gone FlyQuest way. And TL know that, but at a certain point you can't go with this objective. I feel like this Baron would probably end the game. Top lane pressure, mid lane pressure, bot being left alone. TP's, though up, will not be used for this one, and here we go on the Baron right away. Santorin will be spotted, and it's not gonna happen. There's the claim on Baron yet again. Team Liquid, unable, unwilling, who knows, but will not stop this Baron take again. You look at it one more time as Philip gets some opponents to fight. Bwipo gets back out.
Late game, you have to force the fight so hard, so quickly. I mean, late game Baron just melts when these carries get multiple items. White gun plus Azir.
Yep. Yeah, those are two of the best champions in the entire game at actually burning it down. So you have to respond so quickly, and FlyQuest is just playing these objectives really, really well. From start to finish, they've been doing a great job at actually setting up and controlling around these objectives, making sure that they're not just straight 50-50s, turning on Santorin when he does getting in, zoning him out when he doesn't have that easy way in. So, you know, really doing a good job. They have top lane push now. Mid lane's getting pushed up here by the Aatrox, and bot lane being shoved in by Johnsun. So FlyQuest trying to get lanes going in all 3 at the same time here, and trying to peel TL apart, because they do have very good wave clear with the Sivir and the Syndra still.
Down goes the wave. They leave Aatrox in mid. It's bot lane now, the pressure. Bjergsen gonna do what he can to wave, but it's not gonna happen here. First turret gonna be dropped pretty heavily. Good shots. Keep in mind, green gun Aphelios gets that extra little bit of range, and once in a while gets to help chip in. About 1/3 HP down to 1/4. Cannon's still working on it.
And it's this wave now because they're going to have to start answering mid, right? So if someone goes to answer mid for Philip, then bot can go down. That tower is getting very, very low, and Philip wants to keep them off that wave. But Hans and Bwipo are going to go try to clear it out really, really quickly. This is that critical wave here where they've got to kill the tower.
It's gone.
Yeah, even Vi's gonna charge up to AG play for it. Here's the headbutt. Pulverize a flash in, looking for the kill. Again, the spell shoot is in for Hansami. He's gonna stay alive. Philip zones back Bjergsen. And here comes the backline dive. Looks pretty good, but it's not gonna be enough. CoreJJ hit and killed. Aphro finds this one. Now Bwipo wants to run. He has Guardian Angel. He'll only drop for a moment. Philip the same boat here. And there's the first revive. Down goes the jungler, 2 for 0. They're gonna find a third and a second. Number 4 as well. They're gonna get everybody to this one. Inside the base, a quadra kill for Johnsun. FlyQuest just slaughter the top lane. They get Bwipo counter picking, it doesn't matter. Philip, huge in this game. FlyQuest win game 1.
FlyQuest, eternally underrated, eternally underestimated. Once again, come out with a statement game. This time versus Team Liquid.
I mean, what an exciting start to the series. I was thinking out of the 2 series, this was going to be the more one-sided. But so far, I mean, it's FlyQuest, the underdogs here.
It was one-sided.
Yeah,
wrong side.
I mean, FlyQuest just coming out of the gates, playing so well. I love the confidence here. From Philip, blind picking the Aatrox. He sees the Olaf as the answer. He just straight up goes Ignite and solo kills one of the best top laners in the league under his tower. He hadn't gotten put in advantage from ganks. He got no help. It was straight up 1v1 laning, even with the freeze that was able to be pulled off there from Bwipo.
And he had
really good stuff.
A much bigger presence in the team fights as well.
Yep.
Olaf, once he got to the team fights, got focused down. Huge zoning there from Philip. Very big plays. Exciting stuff.
Yeah.
FlyQuest ahead and on the board.
And I gotta say, looking at the game, I think their coordination was really on point. They were grouping a lot, right?
Yeah.
We thought about some of the first fights they got. The first one got them ahead, right? Where it was 4-2 in kills. They're 5 mid. There's an Olaf splitting in top side and a Sivir pushing the bot side, right? And it's TL's getting the side of the map, but the team fight's there. Every fight we saw, FlyQuest were really good about focusing exactly one target. When Olaf chased down Aphromoo, they're all 5 on him. You get the jump over the wall from Santorin, they're on him again. Vile, and everyone's pushing him down. Their target selection, very, very good. They chopped down the front line fast, then it turned the fights around, and with the gold lead, ran away with it. So huge game 1 statement win for FlyQuest. We were breaking down the action at the State Farm Analyst Desk.